Hello, everyone, and welcome to another evening of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from a very dreary and kind of damp and cold Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm so happy to be with you tonight. Hello, Melanie and Nancy and Sarah and Mentita and Becky. I'm so glad that you have hopped on already to be with me. I officially started my vacation at about 3:45 tonight. I think it was about 3:35 maybe when I left work. And let me tell you, I ended up leaving work with two more really big things that were on my to-do list when I got back from vacation. I got both of them done today. One took me all morning to do and one took me all afternoon, but I had made a list last Friday of all the things that I had to get done before I could go on vacation, and I got all of those done by yesterday. And so when I started work today, I was like, okay, I'm working on all the things that I need to do right after vacation. So I'm winning. Hello, Kathy and Mary and Amanda. Thank you. And Angelique, thank you guys all for hopping on here tonight. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of some of the online exclusives that are going to be going live tomorrow. Also, starting tomorrow, we have another promotion, so to speak. We have our Earn to Redeem. So beginning tomorrow, anytime you spend $50, that's before tax and shipping, you will get a $5 coupon that you can use in August. It's kind of like Stampin' Up's Kohl's Cash. So one thing that I have to make you aware of, though, is if you, let's say, spend $65 one time in the month and then you spend $35 later in the month, they can't take that extra $15 that you spent earlier in the month and add it later. So it has to be in the transaction, but for every $50 you get a $5 bonus, like come back and shop with us in August coupon. So that's kind of exciting. Kathy Miller is on here, and Kathy and I have a class that we just had post live, and we are keeping it open. It says the 15th, but I think I'm keeping it open till midnight on the 16th because I have my live on the 15th, and I'm not here next week because I'm on vacation. And so I wanted to keep it just as a reminder, but we spent a weekend at my parents' cottage in Wapaka, where I'm going to be heading tomorrow. And we got so much done, and we decided we were going to offer this class. So one of the products that you're going to be seeing tonight, I'm going to highlight that. You'll be able to see all of the paper and all of the things that come with option 1 of the kit, and I'll explain what option 2 is and what the difference is between option 2 and option 3. So I'll get to all of that later, but I wanted to have you be able to see some samples with some of this awesome product that is going live. Hello, Kim. I'm glad that you caught me live too. Hopefully this is a good time. And hello, Jean from Arizona. Hopefully it's warmer in Arizona than it is here because it is not very warm here. So hello, Mark. Thanks for joining me. I wasn't planning to go live. I said it was 50-50, but I got a lot done this weekend because I didn't go up north, and I feel so far ahead right now that I feel like I'm winning, like something's going to go wrong, right? So I hope that nothing goes wrong. But I am really, really far ahead right now, and I'm really pleased. So I thought I'm going to hop on tonight and show you some of these things live. So let's start with some happy mail. I received this beautiful card from Jay Shante, and I loved this layout. So I used this layout for one of my cards, and there was a little surprise birthday party for her a couple of weeks ago. That's why I ended up having to move my YouTube live to a Monday instead of a Tuesday. I said I have an event that I have to go to on Tuesday. Well, it was a surprise birthday party for her. So that's why I couldn't say what the event was. So, oh my gosh, Jean, 106. I don't know if I like that or 60 degrees, but I suppose if it isn't humid, 106 isn't too bad. 106 is 106 though. That's still probably pretty hot. So this is from Jay. I also received this from Mary Linsmeyer. Look at that birdhouse. And she was thanking me for some gems that she won. But isn't that just adorable? I love that set. And then this is from Mary Van Domelen. I saw Mary on here. And this opens, she also received some gems. And this is a fun fold as well. Oh, pool water was 98. Oh gosh, that's a little too warm, I think. So thank you very much, Mary, for that. So, all right. And then I have some prizes. Even though I wasn't planning to go live, I did have some prizes in my little stash. And so I will go ahead and give these away. I want to let you know that I'm not going to be drawing tonight for the creative challenge because I told you that you had until I come live again on the 16th. And so you have until then. With the holidays and stuff, I want to give people enough time. But holy cow, if you're on Facebook, go to Facebook, find me on Facebook, look at some of those samples. They are just amazing. So this was one of the cards, the triple time stamping card that we made last week. And then this was for our creative challenge. And this is the fun fold that opens up like this. And then it opens up again. All right. And a bunch of you have been making some really cool ones of that. These are going to for commenting. So anytime you comment, even if you say hello, tell me where you're from, your name gets put into a drawing, and I draw somebody every year, or every week. And the person who is receiving these this week is Sandy Calloway. So Sandy, I will be getting these off in the mail to you. I'll get them off in the mail before I go on vacation, because otherwise they're going to sit here for almost 2 weeks, well, a week and a half. So, and then for sharing. So anytime you hit share and you either share to your Facebook page or you email somebody or you somehow share this link to somebody, you also get entered into a drawing. You each get assigned a number. I go to random.org, put in how many numbers I have, and it selects the number for me. And receiving a pack of these adhesive back swirl dots that go with the Latte Love Suite is Karen Kozleski. So Karen, I will get these off in the mail to you as well. And then for placing an order. So anytime you place an order, and I can show you my host code. I really appreciate it if your order is under $150. If you would use this host code, because that helps me to get all of these wonderful prizes. If your order is $150 or above, please don't use the code, because you will get hostess benefits that I'd like you to use for yourself. So receiving this Round We Go stamp set. Oh, so fun. And if this person has this, I didn't look to see what you ordered. And I know that you are also one of Kathy Miller's customers as well. So I know that you order things from her. So this is going to Kathy Kessler. So Kathy, thank you for your order. Thank you all of you who ordered this week. And some of you took advantage of that die special, the bundle special where you got 10% off. And so I will get this off in the mail to you. Shoot me an email, Kathy, if you have that, because I have some other prizes that are sitting here as well. Okay, that's all that we have for, let's see, that's, I think, all I have to, I think that's all I have to share with you. Let me look at my stuff here. Yeah, that's all I'm going to share with you for now. I'm going to go ahead and flip to my other camera. And I'm also going to, let's see here. Yeah, think of what I'm doing. I'm also going to turn my overhead light off to help with some of the shadows. Lila's completely passed out on the floor. I don't know if you could see her behind me, but she's completely passed out. All right, let's go ahead. I have some scrap paper here. Let's take a look at some of the exclusives that are in the online exclusives that start tomorrow that are more fall themed. So this is a bundle. It's called Changing Leaves, and it's a stamp set, and it's one of those hybrid dies and embossing folders. So I think I might have shown this already. Look at this. I have extras from a swap that I did. But this die you can set right inside of here if you want, and it will emboss and it will cut out the images that are there so that you get something that looks like what I have in here. So these were ones that I did, like I said, for a swap and for some cards that I made. So you can see that that has embossing on it, and it also cut it out for me. Now you don't have to cut it out tonight. We're going to use it as just an embossing folder, and we're not going to actually cut the leaves out because we're actually going to be featuring a different set, and I'm just going to combine the two together. Let me see, where does this go? This goes on this side. Oh gosh. But along with this big die, it has some of these tinier things that you can use as well. A couple of samples that I received in swaps with this bundle. Let me take these. I wanted to give them credit, so I didn't take them out of here. This one was made by, I think I have to flip the card over. It just says we can have a free class. I would love a free class. This is Stephanie Flath. And you can see, oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see, but she stamped, and I think she just, it looks like she cut this apart. It looks like she stamped and then embossed it. Beautiful. All right. And then this one doesn't use the dies either. This is Angela Waters from Nashville, Tennessee, who made this one. And she used the 2 colors of paper, and she went ahead and embossed it. She did stamp before she ran it through the embossing folder, so it has some stamping as well as the embossing, and then she cut some of those leaves out. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful thank you card. And then this one is from Laura Bartow from Wheaton, Illinois. And this is a fun fold too. And this uses some other online exclusive paper. This paper's still in there. And she ended up putting some ink on the embossing folder so that it would have those colors on the inside. And then that opens like that. Aren't those beautiful? And then the card that I made, I've got it over here, getting ready for my card buffet. I made this card for a swap. So I used the embossing folder in the background, and then I layered over it. Hello, Elsa. I layered over it with some of the leaves that I had cut out. And then I used one of the circle dies, and you can't really see, but I did stamp a leaf in the background behind that real lightly with the basic beige. So this is Pebble Path. This is Peach Pie, and that is Coastal Cabana. And it was a color combination, and then Berry Burst. And I got this color combination from the Color Coach, of course. All right, so we're not going to make anything with that. I'm going to use the embossing folder. A stamp set that is more fall-ish is this stamp set that's called Scenic Pumpkin Patch. And what you're able to do with this stamp set is you're able to create a scene. So we've got a fence. We have some trees that we can add leaves to. We have pumpkins that we can put the stems on. We've got a lot of different sized pumpkins that we can put stems on. We have a little, kind of like a little branch here with leaves. We have a barn with a roof that we can put on. So this you can stamp together to create a scene. I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but it is on my list of things to try yet. All right, and then what we are going to be using tonight is this bundle. And I'm gonna grab all the stuff that goes with the bundle. There's ribbon too. Here it is. This is called the Iconic Celebrations bundle. This is the paper, Iconic Celebrations. So there's all different celebrations. So we've got Christmas trees and candy canes. Oh, and I'll go on this side. Acorns and champagne glasses. We've got some plaids and stripes and kind of like some fireworks that you could use for New Year's. We've got snowflakes. We've got some patterns with, this is Misty Moonlight and Mossy Meadow and some Moody Mauve in there. And then if we flip them over, look at that. We've got some doves. We've got some other trees. We've got pumpkins. We have leaves. We have candles for birthdays. we have all kinds of occasions that you can use this for. All right, so this is a 6x6 paper. You end up getting 4 sheets of each of the designs, and there are 12 designs that are two-sided. So you've got 24 different patterns to choose from. This is the stamp set. It has the big celebrate, and you can celebrate the season, celebrate love, let's celebrate you. There's grateful for you. There's a joy, peace, and love. All kinds of things. There's candles, leaves, snowflakes, trees, hearts, anything that you can think of. And then there are dies to cut those things out, along with this really, really cool label die that fits that word celebrate in it. And then there's this little one that you can put some of those other words in to go along with it. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using tonight. They're also, I cut these in half so that they fit inside the little holder that I have, because the whole thing doesn't fit in there. And so I ended up, well, I'm just going to cut them in half. These are pecan pie, and these are, I think it's called clear, and they're called ribboned adhesive back dots. And there's kind of like, it looks like they kind of sparkle. I don't know if you can see that there's okay, let me see if I can enter back again. Sorry about that. And I'm going to get a little bit of feedback the first time that I go in. Look at how dark it is with my overhead light off. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch back. There we go. All right, sorry about that. So we have these dots, and then we have a ribbon. So we had a white frayed ribbon in the past. This is a little bit thinner than that. It's really nice weight. It's really easy to tie knots and to tie bows. I did color it to see what happens if you use a Stampin' Blend and color it. It's kind of hard. You almost have to leave the fraying white, because otherwise you have to flip it over and make sure that you color the fraying on both sides, because when you color it, the fraying doesn't bleed through to the other side like it does for the center part of the ribbon. All right, let's go ahead and make our card. So I've got all of the stuff that I need here. I have to get back to my banners. Whoops, let me take this one off. That's been on there for a long time. All right. Hello, Linda. It's okay that you're late. Oh, Kathy, I'm glad that you didn't have that prize. I will get that in the mail to you. All right. Look at this color combination we're doing here. All right. So my card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've already scored it at 4 1/4 and folded it in half. I have a piece of Cajun Craze that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I've run it through that embossing folder that can emboss and can cut. I just embossed it though. And then I have, what do I have next? I have 3 pieces of basic beige that measure 1 1/8 inch wide by 3 1/8 inch tall. Okay, and then I have from my DSP, and I'm using these leaves with the Cajun Craze. I have 3 of these that measure 3 inches tall by 1 inch wide. So basically you need a 3 by 3 inch piece of that paper. So you can get 4 of these out of 1 piece of the paper. That's why I really liked that. And then I have a piece of the copper. Oh, look at that. This is it's a silver and gold and copper. And I think it's called detailed foil paper. And this is the copper from that. And that measures 1 by 5 1/4. And then I also have this piece for our greeting that measures 1 inch wide by 2 1/4. And I think I cut mine a little bit bigger than 2 1/4 to make sure I had enough room. And that's also basic beige. All right, I'm going to go back to your comments. And I do have a scrap here of some Cajun Craze as well. So the only stamping we have to do are on these two things and the inside of our card. That's the only stamping. The rest is all the designer series paper doing all the work. So on the inside, actually, let's do the outside first. Just wanted to do grateful. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. I'm just going to use that big greeting that says grateful. And I'm going a little bit to the left of this, and I'm just going to cut a little banner on here. Isn't that a cool font? Just love that. Okay, and then on the inside, this is coming from the stamp set that's called Throughout the Years, which I think that might be an online exclusive as well. I'm almost positive it is. And it's You Mean So Much to Me. There we go. I'm also going to, now there's an outline of a leaf, and there is a filled in leaf. I'm actually going to use the filled in leaf on here, and I'm just going to put 2 of them down in the corner like that. Okay, so that's the inside of our card. Then I'm going to take the outline, and we're going to use some Versamark, and I'm going to stamp 2 of these leaves. I'm going to cover all these up so that I don't drop things in the ink. Thanks for sharing, Kay. Now, I just recently ordered all of the new Wow embossing powders that Stampin' Up! Offered. So when our catalog went live, you might have noticed that our embossing powders all were discontinued, and that the new ones had the word Wow in front of them. So Stampin' Up! Changed the manufacturer of their embossing powder, and the name of this company I think that they're using, or the name of the type of embossing powder, is called Wow. And I have to say that I think that the metallics and even the white is so much nicer than the old. I got rid of all my other embossing. I didn't mix them. I just actually ended up throwing it away, which is probably horrible for me to say that. But I didn't know how well it would mix together. So I ended up just getting new containers. I found these at Meijer here in Appleton. And what I like about them is they have like a suction on here, especially with embossing powders. I want to make sure that that's suctioned closed. And so I have one for each of the 6 different embossing powders. And this is more than one. This is 2 of the little containers that you have. Okay, heat set this. We also have dies that cut it out. And this is what that looks like when they are heat set and cut out. It's just that copper that kind of matched the copper paper that we were using in the leaves. I'm also going to, I completely forgot that I was going to stamp a couple of leaves on the outside of this envelope as well. Okay, so we've got some leaves to kind of match what we did on the inside of our card. All right, now we are ready to put this together. Yes, pretty copper is exactly right, Melanie. Okay, so each of these little strips of designer paper is going to get layered on that just 1/8 of an inch larger basic beige. Okay, so we're just going to layer those on there, and I'm actually just going to use, I just filled up, and I probably have to get it started. There we go. I just filled up my seal, and it's sitting right here, so I'm just going to use that And we've got another one. This layout, I can show you a card that I got in a swap that led me to create this card. It was using, oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of the bundle. It's the one that has all the pretty flowers and the scenes. Let me see. I think I have it right here. I pulled it out and I was like, okay, we're using this. Okay, so that was the card that I received. And I'm just kind of doing my version of it with my stuff. Okay, so this is going to go on dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead, a brand new sheet of dimensionals. Just going to throw dimensionals down the center here. Okay, and before I put those on, we are going to adhere this copper piece right down the center of here. That copper kind of shines off of my lights that are there. Okay, so that's going to go down the center. If you would have to not have it cut exactly, you could trim a little bit. I have just a little bit there. There's not a lot that I have to trim off, but go ahead and trim that. All right, and then these, I'm going to set them over here so I don't have to keep crossing over you. I'm actually going to start with the center one. I always like to start in the center. Okay, that looks about centered. Now, it doesn't matter so much with this one that I did, but if you are using paper like the person whose card I copied, you are going to want to make sure you keep it in the correct order so that the scene makes sense when you look at it. Mine, I have it in the right order, so there's the rest of that leaf. Those add up, but you wouldn't be able to tell as much with this paper as you would with that other paper, that that sample that I had. I'm gonna grab my bone folder here. Just give that a good burnish. And then we will go ahead and adhere that to the front of our card. Right, and our grateful, I'm just going to cut up what looks to be the center and then just come in here. There we go. I'm going to kind of just go down the same. There we go. All right, we no longer have our little pick a banner punch anymore. I mean, unless you kept yours, I did not. I ended up selling mine. That grateful is going to go right in there. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right there and a little bit of adhesive right there. And actually, I think I'm going to have it go this way off the end a little bit. Okay, and then our leaves, we're just going to raise up on dimensionals, move them up a little bit, but bring in that copper that we had from back there. So I'm going to get some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Put a couple of those on there. Hi, Karen. Glad you could join us. You missed me getting disconnected. You know, it's so weird. I was using this program forever. And I said to Kathy Miller, I've never gotten disconnected, you know, because both of us were having problems with ManyCam and that it was disconnecting us all the time. And I said, I've never gotten disconnected. It's super easy. It's really dependable. Now, the last time I got disconnected, I had it on Do Not Disturb, but I'm part of this group where we plan a retreat, and somebody had sent a text message that their daughter had broken her leg and she was going to have surgery and wanted everyone to pray. And so everybody was sending their messages, and there's like 12 people in this group. And I don't know if it was just so overloaded with the people that were sending stuff that it ended up kicking it out, or if something happened with my internet, I have no idea. But we got back pretty quickly. The only problem that I have when I get disconnected is that my phone is my microphone, and I turn my computer off. So I always have to go back and make sure I turn my volume. This is some linen thread, and I just used this bow maker and just wrapped it around there like 3 times. And I'm just going to attach that right there. Now you could use some of the ribbon. I'm going to show you, I did use some of the ribbon that goes with this suite of products on the sample card that I made. I made a couple of different examples, but here I just decided I'm going to just use some linen thread. It's a little bit lighter than the ribbon. Okay, and then my bone folder, here it is. You can take your bone folder and like you curl ribbon with the scissors, you can just kind of, whoops, I didn't do a very good job there. I should have done it before I put it down because now I'm moving it. Here we go. Give it a little curl. All right, so there is our first card. It says grateful. It's got a fall theme. And then on the inside, you mean so much to me. Okay, easy card, went together pretty fast. The paper, the embossing folder, the metallic paper there, and the designer paper together, like does all the work from that. Hello, Julie. Yeah, I decided to come on tonight, Julie. All right, so here's another version of it. So, whoops, we forgot our gems. I think I put our gems away, so I forgot about them. I'm going to get out those pecan pie gems. Can't forget the gems. They're so awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead. Whoa. And put some down in the corner, one little one and one big one. These are pretty flat. And then I'm just going to fill up a little spot up here. Sure I am. There we go. All right, so that added a little gem. So here I used the frayed white ribbon, and I, instead of embossing and putting copper, I did the outline with just the Cajun craze. And then here I used the white, and I used it with the embossed. So depends on if you like to emboss, if you have the time to emboss. Really, you could fussy cut these out if you didn't have a die cutting machine. All of the images that are in here are pretty easy to cut out. So a couple of different versions of the same card. Using our Iconic Celebration Suite, and the name of the stamp set and dies is Iconic Imagery. I can show you again what that looks like. It's just a whole bunch of different occasions that go along with the paper that you could use for different occasions. And I didn't have any other samples that anyone sent me in swaps or anything, so I didn't have anything else to share with you except for the ones that I shared ahead of time with the changing leaves. So let's see, I'm going to get some of this out of the way here so that we can move on to Christmas in July, right? Everybody loves Christmas in July. All right. Let me grab this whole super suite of products. That is amazing. Okay, let's start with the paper. Season of Green and Gold is the name of the paper. So we've got all different greens, shades of greens, along with Very Vanilla on one side of this paper. Now this is 12 by 12 paper. I just have it cut down to 6 by 6, so it's not as big on my table here. Then when you look at the other side, oh, look at all this gold that's mixed in with this green. It's absolutely beautiful. And yes, we have dies that will cut the bells out, and we have dies that can cut some of the greenery out as well. Well, not only did Stampin' Up! Give us this beautiful paper, but they also gave us in this suite vellum. So I don't know if you can see this, but this has almost like a snowflake or snowy little finish to it. We have greenery that has dies to help cut it out. We have more greenery with dies that fit these to cut those out as well. Oh, just amazing, right? Then this satin vanilla ribbon is so soft. Now, if you make a bow and put it on your card, it is going to be pretty bulky because it's a little bit thicker. You can use it to wrap around and use it as like a trim. I've tied it in knots on some of the cards that I've made. I've also like doubled it up like this and like stapled it or taped it so that you just saw the little tails coming out. There are a lot of different ways that you can use the ribbon either on cards, or this is amazing for 3D projects. So I made a 3D project that's going to be going as kind of like a little gift that Kathy and I will be sending you if you order our kit, our class. And it is wrapped in this because this is just so amazing. And then we have these clear and cherry cobbler berries. These are adhesive back. Let's see here. Let me put some white behind it so you can kind of see those. So these whites just kind of sparkle. So when I put this, the whites even on the green paper, it kind of picks up the green tone with it. And it's just absolutely beautiful. All right. So we have those. And then we have 2 bundles that go with it. So bundle number 1 is greetings of the season. Look at those. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Joy and love, season's greetings. You can do happy holidays or you can do happy holidays. You can switch the fonts out however you want. And then the dies for this are wonderful stitched. Can you see all that stitching on there? Stitched tags that you can either put a ribbon through here, or you can just tape or put a glue dot here and add a ribbon if you want. So all different sized dies. The second stamp set that goes with it is golden greenery. And this has the 2 different sized bells. It has this greenery that's like kind of like pine. You have some of these other greeneries. I don't know what they are. I think one of them might be, I think Kelly Atchison on Sunday was saying she thought one of them was mistletoe. I'm not sure what they all are, but they kind of go together. You can layer over them to get different shades of green. And then there are dies to cut those out, but then there are also other additional greens that you can cut out, or dies that you can cut other things out in greens. And like I said, this does cut out your vellum. Okay, so if you love this vellum, you can actually cut it out with the dies, so you don't have to fussy cut that out. And in the paper that we had here, these individual bells are the size. So there's a small one and there's a large one. So you can cut those bells out if you didn't want to stamp and cut them out, if you wanted to do them in gold. So lots and lots of different things that you can do with this set. So Kathy and I are offering a class, and the class has 5 different cards, and it has a gift card holder as well. And there are 3 different options that we have for our class. So I do have a little graphic that I can share with you. You might have seen this either on my blog. You may have gotten an email from me, but this is what the graphic looks like. The option 1 is I have to have it all. And so what it means by I have to have it all is you get a half a pack of the designer paper, you get a half a pack of the vellum, you get this bundle, you get this bundle, you get a pack of these gems, you get all of the cardstock to cut for the 5 cards and the gift card holder. You get a PDF that tells you what all of those dimensions are so that if you want to recreate them, you can recreate them. You get a video where we'll be putting those cards together so that you can see how they get put together as well. And we will throw in with that one a bolt of the ribbon, and everything will be sent priority. And of course, we always send like a little gift along with it for you as well, but this will be thrown in as well. That is the have to have it all. Now, some of you might be thinking that's a lot because it's like $155 for all of that. So you might be thinking, well, you know what? I have a lot of Christmas greetings and I have a lot of different labels that I could put them in. So I don't really need this stamp set. And maybe you're thinking, I could go with the dies and cut that stuff out. So I don't really need this stamp set, in my opinion, but I want these dies. You can order an option that gives you the paper, the ribbon, the gems. Okay, so all of this, the 5 cards and the gift card holder, the PDF, the video, you can get that. And then if maybe you just want to add on these dies, you could add on those dies. And you could use some of the other stuff that you have at home for the greetings or for the greenery. You can add on things if you want to add things on, or you can just buy this the way it is. Maybe you're a demonstrator and you've already purchased all of this stuff already, but you want to see what these cards are. These are going to be exclusives. I'm not even going to give you any sneak peeks of them, but Kathy and I have pretty similar taste, and you kind of see what we do week in and week out. So you kind of get an idea of the type of cards that we make. So you can get just the PDF and the video if you want as well. So if you go to my blog, or you go to my Facebook page, you will see a link that will take you there so that you can, if you're interested, you can go ahead and order this. Like I said, I'm going to be keeping it live until the 16th. Our plan is to order it no later than the 17th, or yes, the 17th. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is that because we're putting it as a workshop order and we're putting the things that you want in your order, you will get an email back with those $5 redemption coupons if the things that you order total up to $50. So if you order the gotta have it all, you're going to be getting 2 of those redeemable coupons, okay, because you have the 2 bundles. All right, so it is kind of a nice deal, especially right now. And the way that we're putting it in, you will get those $5 back. So you'll get $10 back that you can spend then in August. So I wanted to show you one card that's not one of the cards, but let me show you some of the other before I make my card. Here is one of the other bundles that is in the online exclusives that start tomorrow. Look at those dies. I did get to play with this and I did make one card. Let me grab it. It's hiding. Here's the card that I made with that. Look at that little sled. I used some of the gold and green and gold, whatever it's called, paper. I used one of our embossing folders that has little snowflakes. These dies are all from that bundle. This greeting is from this stamp set, but then the label is from the big stamp set, the label that I cut out there. Isn't that fun? So that's a little fun fold. I just loved this little sled. I had to try it. And then this I thought was so cute too. This goes along with our filled with happiness, is it? Filled with something. And it has the wagon. But this also has this cute little snowman. These lights You can cut out with the little banner die that is also with that wagon set. That's an online exclusive as well. Haven't had a chance to play with this yet. I thought I would share. This is a card that I received in a swap. This is from Karen Titus. Some of you might know Back Porch Stamping, I think is what her name is. And she's from Richfield, Minnesota. And this is a fun fold. I think it goes this way, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And then she's just got the big celebrate, and she cut that out of the paper and glued it there. So that is one of the cards that I received in a swap. Now let's make a card with this bundle. So I mentioned at the beginning when I was showing the cards that I received, my happy mail, I showed this card that I received from Jay Shante. I loved this layout. I loved the embossed image on the back and how it used the designer paper and just layered it with colors that went with the designer paper, and how it had this little butterfly and stuff here. So this was my inspiration for the card. So I'll set it there for the card that I made. So let me go to my dimensions here. Filled with fun. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, filled with fun, not filled with happiness. That's a different stamp set, I think. All right, let's go ahead and look at our dimensions. So my card base, whoa, is going to be, this is Old Olive, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So that's going to be the base of our card. And then the layer that is embossed, and I embossed this with the 3D, whoops, I almost dropped a stamp pad. The 3D embossing folder Fern, it's called 3D. And this is what that looks like. Isn't that amazing? I love our 3D folders. Okay, so that is Mossy Meadow, and that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 and run through the Fern 3D embossing folder. All right, then I have a piece of, this is our gold, our foil, and this is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then the designer paper that I used is 4.5 by 2.5. So that's that right there. I think that's the right one. Yes, that is. All right. Then this back piece, the gold foil that I used was 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. And then the designer paper that I'm using with that is 3.5 by 1.5. Okay, so those are all of our dimensions. And whoops, let me take that last one off. And then I did use, this is very vanilla, and I cut one of the labels that was in there, and they do have the little hole in it. And then I cut out this greenery and this one from the two vellums that we had. And we're going to use those kind of like she used that little butterfly. We're going to use that in there. And that's all I have in my envelope. I do have a little piece of this paper that we can add to our envelope to bring all of that together. I do have another piece of 4 by 5 1/4 that's going to be for the inside of our card. So again, our designer series paper is doing a lot of the work here. So I'm going to bring this in because I need it to kind of not stamp off, but I want to kind of go off the edge of the paper a little bit. So let's start with our greeting. And I have all the stamps on blocks right now. This is what I do when I'm creating for, so I was creating for the class. And so I put everything on a block so that I could easily grab it when I needed it. So we are going to need this piece of greenery. We're going to need the love and joy. And we're going to need the Merry and the Christmas for this card. I'll put the rest of the stamps back. So that's kind of how I go. I like to put everything on block so that if I need something, I can just go ahead and quickly grab it, and I don't have to try to find a block, and it's just all right there. All right, on this label with the Mossy Meadow ink, we are going to stamp love and joy. And kind of do it on an angle like that. Okay, so can you see that? It just says love and joy, easy peasy. On the inside, I'm going to bring in some Old Olive, and I'm going to take this like evergreenish type thing, branch, and I'm going to stamp it once in the corner, and then I'm going to pick it up and move it a little bit and stamp it a second time just to get a couple of different shades of green. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stand up so I can see this, and I'm going to stamp Mary, and I'm going to stamp Christmas. Okay, so that's going to be for the inside of our card. Now, if you don't want to write a whole lot on the inside, you could easily move that Merry Christmas down here so that all you have to do is sign your name. Depends on how much you want to write in the card, right? That's how I always look at it. It's like, okay, how much do I want to write to this person? If I don't have a whole lot to say, I'm going to move that down a little bit and yeah, just kind of cover that way. All right, so I'm done with all of the stamping. I'm going to get those out of here so I don't put anything in there. All right, so this is going to be the inside of our card. Oh, and it's just pouring out right now. It's been such a dreary day. My hair, when you saw me before, it looks kind of curly because I got caught in the rain twice today going into work. So this morning it was raining pretty hard. And then I had to leave to go to another campus and it was still raining, or it was raining again. And I got caught in the rain a second time. So I was like, so frustrating. All right, so I'm going to just layer these up on that gold foil. Now, if you wanted to, so in the other sample that I made, I had cut out one of these pieces of greenery out of gold paper, and I'll show you that. You could cut that in the middle because you're not going to see it so that you don't waste this. Or if you're going to be making some other cards and you want to just cut some things out, go ahead and cut some things out so that you're not covering all of that up with just that big piece of paper. Okay, because that foil paper, right? It's like you don't want to, and this looks like it's black, but that's actually mossy metal little dots on there. All right, so we layered those, and then I'm going to attach my fern. To the front of my card, and like that. Okay, and then this is going to go down first. And you may want to use liquid glue on this. I'm going to see how this sticks because with the embossing, sometimes you need liquid glue. My Stamp and Seal was just handy sitting right here. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. This I'm going to pop up on some dimensionals. I thought I kept my, oh, here's my dimension. I'm like, I'm going to keep them here so I don't have to keep reaching over the top of all of you, and so that my arm has to go across the center. All right, making sure we get good coverage so that we don't have like sagging layers. that when it goes through the machine at the post office, it doesn't damage it because it's not even. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and center this top and bottom, right and left, like that. What? We're going to go ahead and put our label here, and I'm going to raise that up on dimensionals as well. See how J was my inspiration, but the cards look totally, I mean, it's the same layout. Yeah, Elsa, this is a really easy layout, right? So we're just going to go ahead and put our label here. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to move these over here because I'm going to do some tucking, and these dimensionals are going to kind of get in the way. I'm going to actually, let's set these over here for right now. I'm going to put them on. I'm making this a little bit differently than I had made it last night. So this is going to go here, and this is going to go like that and kind of overlap it a little bit. I think that's what I want to do. And I'm just going to tape that in the back to kind of hold that in place. And then we'll pop these on dimensionals. And instead of dimensionals on this, I'm just going to put a couple of glue dots in where there's color, and you will not see them. But I want the top to kind of be kind of like free flowing and not attached. So I'm just going to put those sort of towards the bottom of this. See how I want that to just kind of be able to be lifted up and not be down completely. So that's why I just put a little bit on the bottom to hold it in place. But all right. And then I was going to use that very vanilla ribbon, but I decided that for this card, it was just a little bit too much. So this comes in a 2-pack. I didn't realize I only had this much left, but I do have another spool if I don't have enough. This comes in gold and silver. It's a trim, and it also, I believe it's an online, oh, it might be in the catalog now. It started as an online exclusive, and I think it moved to the catalog this year, in the catalog for this year. Okay, so I'm just going to tie that in a knot, or not a knot, a bow. So I used my bow maker to try to get it even. Normally I would just make a bow myself with this, but because I only had a little bit left, I'm like, I better use the bow maker. It might be easier. And then I'm just going to take a glue dot. I'm going to pop it right in that hole and cover that hole up. Okay, you could also put the ribbon through there, and you could just have the ribbon come you could put it through the hole and make it so that it's, you know, tied on the top or whatever. And then instead of the red and clear dots, I decided I hadn't used these yet. Kathy said, oh, I've used them all the time. And I'm like, I haven't used them yet. These are metallic gems. They were new in the catalog this year, and they come in silver, gold, and copper. So I could have used them on the last one too with the copper. But I haven't really made a ton of cards that had a lot of metallic stuff in it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put one of these here, and then I think I'm going to take a big one, and we'll throw a big one up here, and then we'll throw another little one up here somewhere. Whoops. How about right there? Oh, Lila's back. She's awake. All right, so there is that card. So that gives you a little bit. Yeah, Julie, the greens and the golds are awesome. So that gives you a little sneak peek of what that class to go. It's a to-go class. So Stampin' Up! Does not allow us to stamp any images and send them in the mail, it goes against their copyright laws. And so that's why we did a class where we did everything with a certain bundle, because that way you can invest in it and you can get 5 different cards and a gift card holder, all those ideas with the product that's there. So, like I said, this you can find on, there's a link from Facebook that'll bring you to where you can order it. It'll show you that graphic on the first page, and then you should be able to see somewhere on that. I know somebody sent me a message and said, I don't know how I'm supposed to I can see all the stuff, but I don't know how to register. You should see from the first page, you should see something that says register. And if you click on that, it'll show you the 3 options, and then it will have add-on things. Now, if you take option 1, don't add anything on because you have everything that there is on there. If you take option 2 and you just want to add a stamp set, or you just want to add a bundle, make sure you look at it. It does say stamp set, and there's a picture of it there as well. Or if you just want the PDF and the video, that would be option 3. Our hope is to send them out on August 2nd, barring anything that might go on back order. But our goal is to take the orders up until the 16th, place our order on the 17th. It'll probably take us a week in order to get them. And then we'll package them up and get them off in the mail to you. That week in between, they might be out before the 2nd. We don't know. It depends on how many people order them. But our hope is to get the video and the tutorial out to everybody during that week as well, so that you will have them, so you can start making your Christmas cards ahead of time if you would like. All right, let me get my light. Oh, and then there was light. And let me switch back to you. Here I am. Lila's right next to me now. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope that gave you a little bit of a sneak peek into what will be the online exclusives that start tomorrow. And also give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what is to come with our to-go class, if you're interested in that. And also to remind you that we do have a creative challenge that's going on until the 16th of July. When I get back, I will be live again on the 16th of, I think it's 16th is a Tuesday. And I'll be live at 6:00 again with some more ideas for you. If you have anything special that you haven't seen yet that you'd like to see, if you think you want to see, I showed you the card that I made with the sled and the skates. If you'd like to see something with that, let me know. If there's something else that I haven't used yet from the new catalog, if I have it, I'll use it. I just did get, when I closed out my last party, I was able to get, or my workshop, I was able to get the TV set, Tuned In, I think it's called, or something. I can't even remember what it's called. And so I'm excited to play with that because I've seen some really cool things with that. And there's somebody with the Creative Challenge that did a card with that. Maybe it was Lori. I can't remember. But go back to that Facebook page and check out those cards. They are really, really cool. Thank you, Mary. And Gian, it's okay that you're this late. So like I said, I'm going to be off. I'm heading out to Wapaka. I'll check my emails. So it's okay if you have a question, I'll check my emails every day. I always do, even when I'm on vacation. But I'm not bringing any stamps with me. I'm just I have 2 books that I brought along. I love to read and I hardly ever have time to read. So I'm hoping to get some reading done on the boat in the sun and just kind of soak it all in. My sister and brother-in-law and my nephew and my 2 nieces are going to be there from tomorrow until Sunday. So we get to spend some quality time with them. And then the next week it'll just be, I think my mom and I are staying Monday through at least Friday, maybe Saturday. And then my dad's going to be in and out because I think he their refrigerator died, so he has to come home and let the handyman in for that. And then we are going to a brewery game with a whole bunch of people from my family. I think like 16 or 18 of us are going to the brewery game on the 14th. And so we are looking forward to that as well. So thank you so much for all of you that are telling me to enjoy my vacation. I hope that all of you get a chance to relax a little bit over the 4th and maybe get to see some of the people that you love and see some awesome fireworks and whatever else. We have awesome fireworks that are going to be Saturday night on the lake. And Lila she's really weird. She sits on the boat and she watches the fireworks right along with the rest of us. She doesn't mind them, where most dogs go crazy over fireworks. She does not. For instance, she's been a puppy. I didn't know what to do with her the first year that I had her up at the lake. And so I brought her on the boat with me so that I could just hug her really close if she was scared of them. She wasn't. And so she goes every year. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and have a very happy 4th. Finn will be hiding under the bed. Oh, sorry, Kathy. Yeah, I know. I feel bad for people who have dogs who are afraid of fireworks, because there's nothing you can do to really comfort them, right? I'm just lucky that she loves them. So, all right. Rodeo time in Manawa. Well, have fun with that, Betty. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I will see you in 2 weeks from today. Bye-bye.